Hi, I'm Jill Biggs with the Jill Biggs Group. Today we're going to talk about luxury real estate in Jersey City. So if you own a high-end condo, a renovated brownstone, a beautiful single family in Jersey City, you've probably asked yourself, is now a good time to sell my luxury home in 2026, or should I hang on a little bit longer? So maybe you've been watching the condo listings in your building or the houses. Maybe you've seen your neighbors going on the market and thought, if they got the number, what's my home worth? So we're going to break down clearly so you can stop guessing. In this video, we'll cover what is actually happening in the Jersey City luxury market right this minute. This is straight talk from someone who sells a lot of real estate in both Hoboken and Jersey City, and who also lives here. Let's start with big picture. Jersey City is not up and coming anymore. It's come. It's established. It's a real alternative to Manhattan and Brooklyn. And that's important because the luxury segment is not a fluke. There's a consistent demand for high quality homes here, especially at the upper end, where people are looking for space, views, amenities, and lifestyle. So in 2026, what I'm seeing is well-located, well-presented properties, right? They're still selling strongly. Buyers are more thoughtful. They're not just throwing crazy numbers at everything, but they're absolutely buying the right turnkey homes. So there's not an endless amount of truly great inventory. Well, there's not an endless amount of any inventory. Good luxury listings stand out. And if you own a great condo or a home in Jersey City, especially in a highly exciting location, right? Downtown, the waterfront, or the Heights, or in a pocket around McGinley Square, Journal Square, whatever. You're in a great position. So the question is not, is the market good? The question is, am I willing to do what it takes to position my home in the top tier of what's available? Now, who's buying luxury in Jersey City right now? You got a few groups. You've got relocation buyers, right? Which we always have because New York City has like so much turnover, whether you're getting a new job, you're losing that job, you're graduating college, you've come here for work, nationally, internationally. They like the idea of being close to New York, but maybe not in the middle of New York City, right? They search for JC condos, Jersey City condo listings, Jersey City realtor, and they want expert help. They're attracted to different things. Some of them want amenity buildings. They all want a great commute, so clean, modern finishes, right? A sense that maybe they're buying into a lifestyle, not just a unit. These buyers often have a set move-in date, right? That's, remember, relocation, got a job, got to start. That means property appears, they're ready to move quickly, and they're absolutely going to buy because they're moving here. So they've looked in New York, and then they've looked in Brooklyn, and then they came to Jersey City, and they're getting a little bit more. They're getting more space. Maybe they're getting more amenities. And they realize, right, that there's a little bit of a better value, right? And maybe, right, there's a great community feel, and the commute is just so much better, and they get a better view. Oh my God, our view is so much better, right? We've all seen it. So they're open. They want that city energy, but they would like some breathing room, better value for their money, or if they're heading out of town, an easier commute, and maybe you can have a car. Significantly easier when you're living here and not have to go through the tunnel. So you'll hear them say, like, I cannot believe I get this much space. Or wait, is there a doorman and a gym and we're still under what I was paying before, right? That's your buyer. Probably the biggest number of people that we get the local move-up buyer. The buyer that came, the young person that wanted to be in a hip, happening area with proximity to the city, right? They want to be with other young people of a similar, style of life. And they don't want to go. They meet their significant other, whatever. They get their first unit, then they've outgrown that 3.5 to 5 years. So they might be looking, right, at bigger condos, at maybe a townhouse, more bedrooms. Perhaps they can get some outdoor space. If they were in New York City, the number one thing I get is, oh my God, I get a washer dryer in the unit, right? For me, that's a hard stop. Anyway, everybody looks 4 months before they ever come and look at anything on the internet, right? So they're watching what's coming on the market, right? They keep refreshing condo listings. They're watching the houses for sale. They're taking 3D tours. They're signing up for alerts. They're researching real estate agents in Jersey City. And similarly to Hoboken, they all want the same thing at the luxury level. They want move-in ready or close to it, a layout that makes sense, natural light, some level of wow factor, property that feels worth the number on the price tag, an easy commute. And if your home fits that description, right? Or better yet, if I can come there and help you make your home fit that description, right? They're smart and they're out there and they are looking and we don't have inventory. So let's talk about timing, because that's where people get hung up. Should I wait a year? Should I wait for interest rates to drop? Here's the most honest thing I can tell you. The perfect time to buy or to sell is now, right? You cannot perfectly time the top of the market. You can only decide whether the current market plus your personal situation equals a good move, right? There's things to think about. Number one, what's the competition like at the right price at your price point? If there's only a handful of comparable luxury listings out there and yours is as good or better, or we can make you look better, and that's a great environment to be a seller. If the market is flooded with a ton of similar properties, right, then maybe we need to sharpen our strategy on pricing. Maybe we need to do something to make your house stand out better. This is where having an agent who actually tracks the inventory, someone who's the local market expert, not just tracking the headlines, this really matters. The second thing, right, what's the buyer urgency look like? A lot of people, right, that I mentioned with relocation, right, that has to do with a job start. They have a timeline from work, right? They don't get to say, we're just gonna wait 3 more years. So if you bring a strong home to market while the buyers are out looking, you end up doing very well, right? When you put yourself on the market, the people that are out looking at this particular moment in time, braving the 2 feet of snow on the ground, they're real, right? And if they're relocating, and if anybody ever tells you they have a relocation buyer, I can tell you as a listing agent, you let them in because those people are buying something. So probably the biggest thing is what is going on in your own life right now, right? You got to ask yourself, am I living in a property I love, right? Or am I just living in here because I have a fabulous interest rate, right? What am I waiting for? Is this home still right for me, right? Your personal life matters and being comfortable matters, right? So is the home right for your lifestyle? Do I have clear next steps if I sell, right? I go on appointments all the time. Nobody wants to be homeless. So if we put you on the market and we sell your home, where are you going, right? So we spend a lot of time making a plan, right? If this is where you want to go, how do we best get you there? Well, the other thing, right, when you sell, just another group that I may not have mentioned, but it's a group that is near and dear to my heart because they're my friends, my age, right? We get so many people that are downsizing now, and they are used to living a big lifestyle. They were living in 5,000 and 6,000 square foot homes. You have all of this stuff and you have all of your kids' stuff that you're storing for them that they don't want to take, and and you need space. If you're like me, you need a lot of closets and you need a guest room. So if you do get some grandchildren or if people want to come and stay, that they have somewhere to stay. Everybody has a different reason for for buying and selling, right? Sellers sell at different times. And depending on what it is, like, what is the ideal time? Market is moving, people are out there, and bonus season was good this year. And in the luxury market in Jersey City, you don't have a lot. And when you get something good, it goes, and it goes quickly. And so waiting can cost you time and can lose you the opportunity. This is what people really care about, right? What's my home worth in Jersey City? At the luxury level, like, your value is based on more than just your price per square foot, right? People want turnkey, right? That is what matters. Neighborhood, micro location, where exactly are you? Downtown, the waterfront, the Heights, Journal Square, another pocket. Each one of those has its own particular hyper-local market, all right? A buyer looking at a waterfront condo with amenities is thinking differently than a buyer looking for a brownstone, or somebody looking in the Heights. And, right, lifestyle, right, expectations is different, so is pricing. If you're a townhouse or a brownstone, right, what block are you on? Are you in a flood zone? Are you a two-family? Do you have rental income? Or do you have a space with a bedroom on the ground floor, so if people have elderly parents, they can come and visit and easily walk in, right? So 2 units in the same building, right, can have very different square foot prices depending on where in the building they are, right? Everybody right now wants something facing south and east. If you're facing south and east, oh my God. However, if you're not facing south and east, right, like, there are tricks and ways to make the unit to have a view, to put a mirror on a wall that faces in the right direction so that drags the light into the unit. There's some things you can do by having a plan to get yourself more money, right? Layout, light, sense of space. 2 exact size units or houses can feel completely different. Buyers notice how the home feels when they walk in. They notice, is the layout open? Is it functional? Does it get natural light, right? One reason some smaller units actually sell for more per square foot than larger ones is because they're using all the space. Having a balcony, a terrace, a private backyard, usable outdoor space, it's a major value driver. Where you're spending money, real money, you want everything, like the whole shebang, and you get to have it. So that market has not a lot on it. And when anything that's truly wonderful comes on the market, it has multiple offers and it sells quickly. For me, how we get a real number is we come by and we ask you a whole bunch of questions: where you're gonna go, what the timeline is, what the plan is, right? We take a look through, we advise you on every single thing, right, that we think that needs to happen. Then, right, we're gonna pull the recent sales. We're gonna find out what is currently under contract. We're gonna make comparisons because, FYI, we're not comparing apples to apples, right? Timing, view, location, parking, rooftop, backyard, terrace, massive terrace, right? Upgrade, central AC, washer dryer on every floor, or only one in the basement. All of these things are impactful, and right, so we'll make a list, and then we will provide you with what is the most relevant pricing that you can expect, rather than having you look online and have, a value that is so far off. We walk you through it, right? In the high-end luxury space, I think the biggest thing, people don't want to be inconvenienced. They don't have time. They're very busy. They don't want to do anything. They don't want their schedules disrupted. And depending on what the particular situation is, right? Some people leave and move out, and then we completely furnish and get the place to look the way that it should before we launch it. And that's one strategy. A lot of people, however, even though they can afford to buy without selling, they don't intend to carry 2 mortgages. And so, right, they ask us what has to happen, right? And we go through. Are they living in a perfect place? Do they need us to help them with storage? Do they need us to help them with moving things? Do they need us to swap things out? Is the sofa too big and should be smaller? Whatever that is, right? We put together a plan. You do, we do, and we help to orchestrate it, which can be the difference in getting, 10, 20, 30% over what you would get if you didn't do those things. So when you ask for a home value, right? If somebody is not coming and walking your home, you're not getting a home value. Should you sell now? So if you're a luxury homeowner in Jersey City and you've been quietly wondering if you're sitting on more equity than you realize, or if you could trade this home for something that fits your lifestyle better, especially with that little drop in interest rates, right? If you want us to give you some real numbers and context to your situation, you reach out to the Jill Biggs group, reach out to me. We'll come through, analyze, show you where you are in this current market, and give you an honest and realistic opinion on what your home is worth. Use this link in this video. Message us with JC Value. We'll get back to you. Like, if you want more content like this, real straight talk about selling, buying, navigating the market in Jersey City and Hoboken, hit subscribe. Give this a like. Tell me in the comments what surprised you most about how value is actually determined. I'm Jill Biggs, your Jersey City hyper-local real estate expert. I actually currently live in Jersey City. I've bopped back and forth from Hoboken, Jersey City, Union City, Hoboken. So I really am here, and there's probably not a block anywhere around here where I haven't listed or sold, and I'll give you a real opinion. See you in the next video.